Hi guys! Today I thought I would show you how I do a faux Charoite. I think I'm saying it right. I wasn't sure how to say it, so I went and googled how to pronounce it, so I'm pretty sure it's Charoite or Charoite. But anyway, that's what I'm going to attempt today, and you're going to need some translucent clay, and I've got Sculpey Premo. And I've also got a little bit of Premo White glitter. It's the white clay with little bits of glitter in it, mainly because I don't have any regular white, but I think a little bit of glitter will look nice in that anyway. And I have already practiced this and done this the same way, so I know it works. I've also got some purple clays. Now I couldn't tell you precisely because they're scraps of purple that I mixed to get a dark, medium and lighter shade of purple. So as long as you've got dark, medium and lighter, I mean this is a little pinkier as well, but 3 purples is good. So I've got those, and you're also going to need some liquid Sculpey, and this is translucent. Gold leaf, not essential. I might use it, I might not. I might use it in one and not in another, but it's there if you want it. And also some pearl mica powder. This is actually pearl pink, but you could just use the regular white pearl, which I don't have any, so again I'm using what I've got. Alright, so first things first then, so we've got the white and 3 purple, 3 shades of purple. So I'm going to take a piece of translucent, roughly this size, just a nice slice, one slice for each colour, roughly the same. I'm not being overly precise, but you know, they're roughly the same. This one's a little thicker, but I'm not going to worry about it. I could always just take a little slice off there. Alright, so that's for the 3 colours. I'm also going to want another strip for the white, and I also want another piece just as translucent on its own. So I've got the 3 pieces for each of those colours, a piece for the white, and a piece for by itself. So let's start with the colours then. I'm going to start with this darker purple, and I'm going to take a good pea size of that, and that's going on there. The next purple shade, which is lighter, again maybe a fraction more, a good pea size. Actually that's a bit too much, I've changed my mind, I'll take a little bit out. I'm just going to take a slightly tiny piece out of each, and then same for this one, good pea size again on that. So 3 pieces of translucent, one has the dark purple, the lighter purple and the lighter purple. And I'm going to do the same with this. Going to take a good pea size, maybe a little bit more of the white. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that's good. So a very good pea size, probably more like 2 pea sizes of the white going in the translucent. Again, it's not exact. It doesn't really need to be honest, but this is just a rough guide for you. Okay, so those have all got to be mixed, and this is just going to stay here for a second. But what I'm going to do when I mix, apart from the white's going to get thoroughly mixed, so it's all blended together. The colours, I'm not going to thoroughly mix. I'm not going to mix it all the way, let's put it that way. So I'm going to go and do that off camera, and I'll come back and show you what I mean. So I'll be back. Okay, so I've mixed the white glitter into the translucent, and that's thoroughly mixed. But as you can see with the purples, the colours disperse throughout the whole piece of the translucent, but I've not completely blended it so it's one solid colour. And I've done that on all 3 of the purple pieces. So you don't want to thoroughly mix it. Alright, and then I'm just going to take each one of those pieces and just quickly roll it into a very rough sausage, I'm actually going to roll this like this, and again it's going to give a little bit more pattern within that as you roll it, and then again just, you know, fold it over, roll it into a very rough sausage like so, and you can see it's not completely blended. Same with this, I'm just going to roll it, that way it gives it a little bit more of a pattern going on in there. You can even twist it a little bit, fold it over, and same thing. I'm just seeing, I'll just give this a little twist. I think I'll give this a little twist as well. So you're just being kind of rough with it, there's no specific way of doing it, you're just rolling and twisting, and you're just trying to get a little bit of pattern going on in there, like a subtle pattern. Alright, so they're all in the little logs, and we've got this translucent here with nothing in it, it's all by itself. Aw, poor translucent, he's lonely. Don't worry, you're going to get mixed up with the other guys in a bit. Alright, so just some rough, very rough sausages. One thing I am going to mention before I move forward, the Charoite that I saw was more of a lighter purple. They do vary in shades of purple, and I do prefer the lighter side of things when it comes to that, and it was more of a translucency look. But you could get the darker look, the darker Charoite, if you were to just make another one of these up, just add more purple like with this one. See, so there's more purple than translucent in this, so you could add that if you want to. In fact, I'll show you, but basically all I did was mixed purple with translucent, but there was like probably 3 times more purple that I used in this mixed with the translucent, if you want to get that purple, that darker purple look. So I will show you, but I've already made it and I don't want to make another one. So that's there if I wanted to do the darker purple. Alright, but for now I'm just going to take these, and it's the chippy choppy style, but it's a chippy choppy style on steroids. So I'm just going to take a translucent and just start randomly chopping. I'm not too worried about chopping it really small right now, because it's just going to get mixed with some mica powder. So I'm just going to take each piece and give it a good old chop, just random. Just random. Same with all the logs. And as you cut through, you can see there's a little bit of a, I don't know if you can see that, a little bit of a pattern going on in there because we didn't mix it thoroughly. Why is it when I'm doing a tutorial I refer to me as we? You're not actually in the room with me, but I noticed I do say that. We're going to chop this. What I mean is I'm going to chop this, and if you're following along with me, then that makes it we. I guess I'm rambling again, guys. Alright, next piece. Again, just chippy chop, chippy chop. Just roughly. Just rough chops. Just keep them separate for the time being. And then the last one. Just chopped up. Alright. So I'm just going to keep them separate for now. Let me just think about this. I'm trying to think how I did it. That definitely needs to be separate. It doesn't matter too much about these. These are all going to get mixed together. So you can put the purples together, but keep these two to one side for the time being. Alright, and I'm just going to take my mica powder. This is a typical, what I call chippy choppy, but I'm going to change it up. It's not going to remain quite the same as the usual chippy choppy style. So I'm just mixing all the mica powder into all the purples just to get it nice and coated, and you can see some of the clay is stuck together. You can just separate it, and you've probably also noticed that the pieces are quite big at this point, but this is where I now chop some more. I don't want mega tiny pieces. I think that might be good enough. Maybe just a little more. And you're going to get some smaller pieces and bigger pieces all mixed in there anyway. Alright, so that's that bit done. We'll just put those to one side. And then I'm going to take the translucent that was mixed with white, and I'm just going to add some of the pure translucent into the mix, but keep some of the translucent to one side. Where did that come from? Okay. Alright, so I am mixing a bit of trans into there, like I said. And I'm just going to give this another quick chop before I add the mica powder. This is a little bit chunky. Okay, same thing, get your mica powder, give this a tumble in that. So if you've seen other tutorials where people do this chopping up style, at the moment it's just the same as that, but like I say, it changes from that a bit down the road. Alright, again, not too small, not too big, just somewhere in between. So that's two little piles. And then the last bit to do is just the translucent on its own. I think I'm just going to take a little bit more of trans just to add to that. It looks a little bit like that might not be quite enough. Not too much, just another little chunk there, and chop that up. There's a little bit of purple in there. Get rid of that. Alright, so I'm going to take mica powder again and do the same thing. Now at this point, if you wanted to add the darker purple, you would need to chop that and do the exact same thing. I don't think I'm going to add the dark purple to mine, guys. I want to keep it that on the lighter side of purple. I just prefer that look. That's just me. But if you wanted to add the darker, you're just going to do the exact same thing. I'll just explain one more time. When I did the purple, I got a piece of translucent and a good pea size of dark purple and mixed it. With this, same amount of translucent but 3 times the amount of purple. You're just getting a darker purple, that's all it is. So if you wanted to throw that into the mix, then you could do the chippy choppy and the mica powder for that as well. But I want to keep mine lighter. I have done it the other way with the darker purple, so at the end I will show you the difference. Alright, I feel like I'm rambling today. I think I'm a little bit excited because I've been in such a I don't know, I've not been able to create anything. I've not been able to get my head around anything, and yesterday and today I finally made stuff that I'm happy with, and so this one and another one that I'm going to be working on for another tutorial I'm really happy with. So I think I'm just a little giddy right now. Alright, so I've got my 3 piles. I've got my mixed purples chopped up. I've got the translucent mixed with white plus a little bit of pure trans, and then this is the pure trans. Okay, and then the next thing, the messy step, is to add the liquid sculpey, translucent liquid sculpey. And even though it's messy, I'm not wearing gloves. I cannot work with gloves on, so excuse my dirty hands as I do this. And you're just mixing it all together, like with any of the chippy choppy style, just so you can get it all stuck together and make it into a block. So I'm just going to lift this up and start to form it in my hands. I'm hoping I've put enough liquid clay in. I don't know if I have. I'm sure there's an easier way of doing this, but this is how I always do it, as you probably know. Let's try and get this picked up. I may have not put enough in, but I'm going to make it work, so. Because I don't want it to be too sticky either. Alright, so you're just getting it all together and then forming that block with it. These pieces are stubborn, they don't want to stick. Alright, so just start forming it into a block like this. Why you no stick? Okay, so that's the first block, almost. Alright. You will stick. I will make you. Alright, so you've got your first block. A nice little square. I'm just going to play with it just for a little longer just to make sure it's all nicely stuck together. Okay, so that's block number one. That's the colours. Now this is the white and trans mix. Same thing. Some more liquid sculpey. Give it a mix. Now, I didn't add any gold leaf, did I? So I'm not going to bother. I forgot all about it, to be honest with you. But you could, in the purple, you could add a little bit of gold leaf. I didn't bother with the last batch that I made, but some Charoite does have a hint of gold running through it. So if you wanted to, you could add a little bit. But my bad, I forgot to add some, but it's fine. Like I said at the beginning, it's not absolutely necessary anyway. It's just all on whether you want to add that hint of gold. And I forgot. Oh my gosh. Guys. I'm so sticky. Stick. You're being awkward. Right, so try and get all your pieces stuck together. I'm having quite a hard time doing that right now for some reason, but I'll get there. Gentle squeezes, you don't want to squash it too much, although actually it doesn't matter because you will see why. In a little bit. Alright, okay, this is getting on my nerves now. Oh, do you know what? I'm 51 years old, okay? And I've always said that, I've always noticed anyway, as I was, you know, going into my 20s, my 30s, I always noticed. Now, I'm not saying this is true of any of you, but I have noticed, particularly in supermarkets, how grumpy women of a certain age are. Well, I think I've reached that certain age, and I've got to be honest, there's a lot that really gets on my nerves. I have got little patience. Oh dear. Okay. So there's block number 2. And then the last block, which is just the pure trans mixed with the mica powder. Maybe if I got some of this stuff off me, I'd be less sticky. I know I've got to go and do this again, but maybe I was just too covered in the stuff. Alright, so the last little block then, same thing. Did I chop this? I don't think I chopped it, did I? I didn't chop it more, let's put it that way. Oh well, not to worry. It's going to get chopped again down the road, so I'm not too worried. I'm a little bit forgetful, you may have noticed. Maybe that's an age thing as well, I don't know. I'm just going to add a little more of that to that. Alright. Now, come on, stick together please. Maybe I'm just too giddy right now and I don't know what's wrong with me, to be honest. Apart from I'm getting in a mess. Oh dear. Alright, stick. Stick, stick, stick. Okay. Alright, so 3 little blocks. Almost. The translucent not being very big, you don't need. You can make as much as you want to, but obviously there's more purple than there is the others, but that's fine. I didn't need a whole load of translucent, so. Alright, so we've got our 3 blocks. I'm just going to give this a quick wipe. Give my hands a quick wipe. And we'll go on to the next step. Now this is where the chippy choppy becomes something else. Although it is still kind of chippy choppy, but it's, like I said, chippy choppy on steroids. Alright, give this a quick dry and we'll go to the next step. Okay, so you've got your 3 blocks, so try and remember which one's which. Obviously that's the purple, but this is the trans mixed with white. Okay, alright, I'm going to start with the purple first, and I'm just literally going to take slices down. Now when you slice down, it's going to be like any other chippy choppy thing that you've seen before. Alright, I'm just going to take a couple of slices actually. We'll see how we get on with that. So you've got your standard chopped look, but I'm going to now cut lengthways like this and just kind of butt them up together like this. You don't have to be perfect, you just cut in slithers, so to speak, and you're just going to keep doing that. You're just going to keep chopping through lengthways, so you've got longer strips going that way, if that makes sense. Alright, and you're just going to kind of bunch them up together. Now it looks a mess, it looks kind of random, but trust me, you'll see what happens when it's all put together. So just keep chopping through and kind of actually piling it up on top of each other as well. I'm just going to take some more, so I'm just cutting some more little strips off and then just cutting through again and butting it up to the rest of it, and then taking other little pieces. It's really just a mishmash. You really just chopping the chop, chopping the already chopped, but then you kind of layering it up as well. I hope that makes sense. So let me just show you again. So take a piece. If I just did it one by one, it might have been easier to show you. Take a piece and just randomly cut into it and butt it up, but also take some and place those pieces on top, so you're actually layering it up a little bit as well. And it really is kind of random. And then you can do some little cuts in it and then mush it back together. It just all helps to add to the fractured look that you see in the stone that I can't say, Charoite. When I first saw the name, I thought it was Charoite or something like that, and I thought that's probably not right. So like I say, I googled it, and I'm told it's Charoite. All right, so I've just done that. I've chopped up a couple of slices of this and then kind of mushed it together. Now I want to take some of the translucent mixed with white and do the same thing, exact same thing, but then kind of add it in there a little bit. I'm not going to put too much of that in there, but just here and there. It really is quite random, guys. And then what I am also going to do is take some more of that and add it on the end, well, one side of the stack that I've already made, just because I want a little bit kind of separate from the purple. Again, you can do it however you want. This is just how I want to do it, based on one picture that I saw that I really liked. It was had some translucency looking bits in there, but it had some attached to the end of it, so to speak. So that's what I'm doing. So that was the trans mixed with white, but I'm just going to take some pure trans as well and do the same thing and just add it in there. So you really are just chopping clay. But because we're using a lot of translucent, it's going to give it that depth and that fractured look. Well, I'm hoping that's what it's going to turn out like. The other two times I've tried it, it came out amazing. I was so excited, so I'm hoping it's going to work on camera, because I've often found that my trial runs turn out better than the actual tutorial. So I'm just going to try and get that little piece off and stick it in there. Alright, so you've got a little stack going. Obviously there's all this left, and I found that you can make so much stuff out of this. And obviously you could make this bigger, but I'm just going to keep it at this for now, and just probably make the one pendant with it. And I'm just going to make sure it's all together. Just give it a rough shape, not anything, you know, specific. And I'm just going to give it a quick roll just to see how it looks. Now that's how it looks now. I'm thinking it needs a bit more chopping. So it's all on you how chopped you want it to be. But I want it a little more chopped than that. So I'm just going to start again. I'm just going to start chopping again. And butting it up to each other like that. And just cutting into it. Just move that out of the way. So same thing again, just keep chopping away until you're happy. I just want a nice fractured look. And you can cut smaller pieces off, they don't all have to be the same length. Just butt them up. I mean, I guess it does seem quite complicated, but it really isn't. I just hope I'm making sense, guys. I'm just going to start kind of piling it on top of each other. That's how you get the depth as well is because you're adding translucent clay on top of translucent clay. Admittedly, it's got colour in it, but it's mainly translucent. Alright, so I'm just going to keep doing that. Alright, so I've reformed it back into a rough, very rough shape. And like I said, you could make this as big as you wanted. You could use the whole thing and do a whole big sheet of it. I'm just going one at a time. That's just how I prefer to do it. Alright, so now I'm going to give this a roll again, and I think I'm happy with how, I don't even know how you describe it, how choppy it looks. But as you can see, I added the translucent just on one side, and there is some thrown in the mix as well in the actual purple part. That's just how I want to do it. You don't have to do that. You could mix the whole thing together. Alright, so I'm just going to put this on a piece of card, give it a quick roll. I don't want it to be too thin. Just give it a quick roll, and then a quick burnish, just to make sure it's all nicely stuck together and nice and smooth. Like so. Just check it now. And that's perfectly smooth. So you can see what it looks like pre-bake. Obviously it's going to look a little different once it is baked. I'm just going to see if I can get this off this card, because I've noticed if I burnish it too much onto the card, it kind of sticks to it during the bake, and I've got a little bit of blue in there, so I'm just going to try and get that out. I don't want that in there. I'm not sure where it came from. Where's my little knife gone? There it is. I'm just going to take that out because I don't know how it got in there and I don't like it. I'll just give that another quick burnish. Now with these, I'm not feeling the resin with these. I think they should just be have a more natural look just by sanding and buffing them. So that is what I'm going to do. Obviously once they're baked. Okay, so I've got my piece there, and now it's just a case of cutting out the shape that I want, and I think I'll go with this triangle. I feel like it's a little bit thinner there than the rest of it. This is the thing, I don't want to put it in the pasta machine because I don't want it to get more stretched out than it already is. So you can just kind of play with it, guys, try and mush it back into a more equal thickness. Alright, so I'm just going to take, where do I want to go? Do I want that to be like that? Or do I want it to be in the corner? I definitely want some of that pure trans in there on its own, so I'm just going to go there. Oops. And get my block. Okay, so that's the first piece. I'm just going to get my knife. I'm just going to stick this on the tile for a second, and I'm just going to try and, it just feels a little bit unequal in thickness, so I'm just kind of butting it around the edges where it feels a little thinner, just to thicken it out kind of. Alright, that's better. Whoops. So that's the first piece. So that's going to go in the oven. Now, this is reusable. If you've got this left over, you know, there's going to be bits left over, but it's reusable. Just recut it and restack it and you can use it again. Alright, so I'm just going to show you the one on camera because you don't need to see me make 3 different pendants out of the same stuff. But that's that, and I'm going to go and bake it, and then it's going to get a thorough sand going through all the grits. The way I sand, you don't have to sand it the way I sand it, but that's how I do it. I'm going to start at a 320 grit, and then I'll go to 400, 800, 1000, 1200, 1500, 2000, 3000. But I do have a video that shows that, so I will leave a link for that tutorial as well. But that is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go and bake that, and I'll be back when I've sanded them, buffed them, and I'll show you all the different ones that I've made using this technique. Alright guys, I'll be back. Alright guys, I've baked and sanded and buffed, and this is the one from today on camera. I don't know if you can actually see the depth of this, but hopefully in the thumbnail you will see it. You will see. And these are a few more that I did. This is another triangle one that I did. I actually think my Premo translucent scorched a little on this one, but this is another one that I did, and you can actually see the little bit of glitter coming through on that one, and it's just as shiny and nice on the back. I've not decided what I'm going to do with them yet, and this is a heart one that I did, and I really love how the pattern came out on this one. As you can see on this one, it's a little more stripy, whereas this one is not as stripy. So that's that one. I don't know if you can see that well, but that's the heart. And I did another heart one, different shaped heart. So there's that one as well. And then just to quickly show you the ones that I did with a little bit more of the dark purple. And again, I didn't add that much of the dark purple, but it's all on you. You could add a lot more dark purple if you would like. This one's got a little more in it, but again, I just really like these. I really like how they came out. So that's those guys. Obviously it's going to look different depending on where you cut, whether you're going to add more translucent on the sides or more actually in the mix. But there they are guys. So I thank you for watching. Happy New Year once again, and I'll catch you later. Bye.